Welcome to Practice Panther. My name is Adriel. I'm actually one of the dedicated account managers here at Practice Panther. Here at Practice Panther, we strive on having the easiest software on the market as well as the most intuitive software. So everything that I'm going to be showing you today, if it's not easy enough, please reach out to us and let us know how we can make it a little bit easier. We offer a lot of different features, anywhere from automation to client management and task management, to client intake forms. So we have a lot of different features that we cover. And one of the best parts about Practice Panther is all of those features are included in just one cost. And it's going to be a very affordable cost, and we run on a per user basis, but I will go over the subscription prices later. So the way kind of Practice Panther started a little bit, it started over in 2012. The developer and the CEO, actually, their wives are both attorneys. So when they started out, the software was supposed to be just dedicated to them, but as time went by, it started blowing up, and here we are today. So my chief developer, he actually worked for the cyber intelligence unit in the military, and he encrypted a lot of different software for them and made everything super secure for them. So he kind of went into the software and did the same exact thing with Practice Panther. So everything in our software is very secure, very encrypted. We run on a 256-bit military-grade encryption. We are actually located in 25 different countries internationally, with thousands and thousands of clients all over the world. So Practice Panther, we strive on being the easiest software on the market, and I'd be more than happy to reach out to anyone who is interested in our software and show them exactly how to use it. So
Thanks,
we're going to get started.
Well, real quick, Adriel, so you mentioned all over the world, but where are you guys headquartered at?
Our headquarters are actually based in Miami, Florida. So that's actually where everything got started. Right now, we are based in Miami, Florida, pretty close to Aventura. I don't know if anybody's really familiar with Aventura area, but that's where our headquarters are in. Just this office alone has about 30 employees. So this is definitely where it all started. And we are actually branching out to international countries as well. But currently, we are supporting in the offices here in the U.S., to Australia, to South Africa, and a bunch of other countries as well.
Wow, South Africa. So
Yeah.
you guys have to kind of does your tool adjust for the types of law that they practice over there?
We do our best to. Yeah, we do our best to, and we are very open to actually adjusting to anything that people have brought up. As you can actually see, we have come up with a lot of new features. Let me actually show you this. And these features that we come out with, by the way, are on an attorney-based request. So this is not something that we've created that we thought would be good to add. These are all requests that attorneys have put in on their own. So it's really cool. And by the way, the time that we release these features are incredible, because a lot of softwares on average, they'll release features maybe on like a 4 to 6 month basis. We release features anywhere in days to weeks. So we are very quick. As you can see the dates and times right over here. These are all substantial updates as well. So they're very big updates, and we get a lot of good recommendations on these updates, because these are all attorneys that are actually letting us know that these are the things that they want out. These are the things that make their lives easier, and these are the things that we actually release at Practice Panther. So
that's great. So you guys are very agile, very responsive.
Extremely. And we do our best to make sure that our clients are very happy and very satisfied. So I'm going to move forward. I'm going to show you a little bit about the software, okay?
Okay.
So what I want to show you first is this is going to be the dashboard page. So as soon as you create a login, the first thing that you're going to see is this dashboard page. It's super easy to read. It's super easy to see. It's not going to clutter you. It's not very cluttered. So it's not going to complicate you with like too many things to do. It's just going to show you these quick create icons. It's going to have this new drop-down list and anything that's paid, due, or billable on your main page, okay? So this is going to be the first page that you open up from Practice Panther. So what I want to show you how to do first is create a new contact. So very easily, I'm going to click on these quick create icons. I'm going to click on a new contact, and we're going to generate our first contact. So the name of my contact that I'm going to be creating today is actually just going to be myself, okay? And of course, you guys are going to be putting in real clients in here, or opposing counsels, because it is called just a contact, but I'll get into that in a second. But for today, I'm just going to use a fictitious name, just myself, okay? I can also enter in an email. What the email does is it allows me to actually activate a client portal. So a big thing with the client portal and why people use the client portal is because attorneys have said repeatedly that they would like a more secure way to conversate with any of their clients, because as we all know, email is not as secure as it used to be. So because people are getting, as technology is improving, security is decreasing in that field. So what we've done was we've created a portal that runs on a very high security server. So we will be able to pretty much send our clients invoices, task and events, secure messages, and we can even send them documents straight to the client portal, and it'll be extremely, extremely secure. And your clients will actually be able to make payments through the portal. So anything that your clients will receive is going to be through the portal. And we get a lot of good feedback on the portal because their clients feel like they feel a part of something. They feel like they have a login and password, and they feel like they're really a part of something in this technology world that we live in. So it's really, really neat. Another really great feature that no other software has with the portal, by the way, is going to be this notification panel. So as you can see, I'm always notified with anything that my clients are doing. So let's just say I send Adriel Cohen an invoice to the client portal. As soon as Adriel Cohen opens up that invoice, I am notified in real time. Why does that help? Because a lot of your clients may not tell you the truth of whether they got their invoice or not. So it's good to stay in the loop with what your clients are actually doing. You can even assign your clients tasks and events. Let's just say you want to assign them a task and event to send you documents or whatever the task might be. Your client can actually mark their task as complete when they are done, and they can send you files through that task and event page, which is really, really good. And those files will be organized straight within your Practice Panther. So
Nice.
a lot of great things you can do with the portal. It's really good with staying in the loop with your clients and never losing track of anything that they're up to. So another cool thing that you can do is add a mobile phone number. So I'm going to add my work phone number. This is going to be my direct line. With the mobile number, we have something with Practice Panther, by the way, that no other software has. What you can do is you can actually send text message reminders to any of your clients. So let's just say you have an event for court at 4 o'clock tomorrow, okay? And you want to be reminded an hour before court that you have to go to court just so you don't forget. Our software will actually text yourselves and your client, if you'd like, a text message reminder saying you have court in 1 hour. So, and we're the only software to have that capability. And by the way, we do know that a lot of clients right now use more phone than they do email nowadays, and that's just the world that we live in, and we've adapted. So we've put in the text message capability. And by the way, the attorneys are not paying for those text messages. Practice Panther is paying for those text messages.
That's great. And real quick on that, can the client text back?
The client cannot text. Nope, it's not bidirectional. It'll just be, because what happens is, and the developer, by the way, looked into it. The thing is a lot of clients, they may not be the most serious clients in the world because you'd be activating these reminders for a lot of people. So it would maybe clutter their task and event page, which would make it a lot harder to look at. Right now, their clients can actually, what it'll be on the email, on the text message, when they do receive a text, it'll be like, this is a reminder from the law office of Adriel Cohen, in this case, saying that you have court in 1 hour, and then you can click on a hyperlink with any updates to that court event.
All right.
And that'll be what you receive on a text.
Cool.
So the way you would activate your portal is really simple. You would just click yes right over here. Okay. We can also add any custom fields. So a lot of softwares, they like to charge a lot more money for adding custom fields. So a custom field, for an example of a custom field, would be like adding date of birth. As you can see, these are the fields that come with any software, especially ours. Now, let's just say in the future, I want to add date of birth because that could be important to a client. I can go over here. I can say date of birth. I can select the date box, and boom, I have date of birth. And from now on, I can actually enter in all of my clients' date of birth for the future. And by the way, these are searchable within the software, unlike a lot of other softwares. So this is something really, really neat. And you can add as many custom fields as you want. And it'll pretty much, custom fields are really cool because it really allows you to, determine like your firm. Like a lot of firms are going to be different, right? Criminal firms are going to be different. Family law firms are going to be different. So when you're actually writing down custom fields for your contacts, whether it's your opposing counsel or whoever it is, you can be very specific on what you want to write down based on your firm type.
All right.
So another thing that you can do is you can assign this contact to multiple people within the firm. So we have lots and lots of firms varying anywhere from 1 user all the way up to a 200 user firm. So we have a lot of different types of firms. So what you can do with us is you can actually take it over here, just like Facebook. You can tag any of the users that are in our software, and from now on, they will be notified with anything that's actually happening within the firm. So if this client gets a notification because they checked an invoice, because he is assigned, he will actually see that he viewed the invoice. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that we have with Practice Panther that's very useful is something called tags. So why are tags important? Because we get to determine who this contact actually is. So who is this contact? Is he an opposing counsel? Is he a client? Is he a lead? Who is this contact? The way you determine a lot of those things is with tags. So let's just say I want to create a tag called lead, right? And I already have tags set up for myself. But let's just say I even want to create a custom tag called maybe like jury, anything, anyone that I want to associate to my cases. Okay, I can create as many tags as I want, and let me show you the way you would actually see how this might be useful. If I go into my contacts page right over here, and I view all of the contacts that I have in my software, how do I find exactly who I'm looking for if I have millions of contacts in here and I'm looking for that one person or those 500 people that are alike? How do I do that? The way you do that is you click on your tag, it'll simplify your search, and you'll find exactly what you're looking for.
Can you select more than one tag at a
Of
time?
course you can. Yep. Let me go back. Let me show you. So if I want to go ahead and select more than one tag, so we'll click a better example because Jury only has one right here. But if I want to click on client, consultation, Google, all of these things right over here, right now I don't have any clients that are associated with all 4 tags. But yes, the answer to your question is I can select more than 4 tags. Or I can select as many tags as I want. Any questions?
No, it looks good.
Very good, very good. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to go ahead and create a case. So super easily, guys, all you got to do is click on this huge green button that says new matter, okay? So we have a lot of different types of cases that we can bill for. We have contingency, we have flat rate, we have item price. We even have hourly rates, but not just your default hourly rate. You can charge differently per matter type. So let's just say you charge 250 bucks and you want to charge for this particular case. Let's just pretend like this is a huge case really quick. We're going to say Adriel versus the world, okay? This is a particularly huge case, obviously. So what we can do is, because we're not going to charge our regular $300 an hour rate, for this specific case, we might want to charge more because it is such a big case. So how do I do that? I add a matter custom rate, and I add it per user, and I select the rate that I want to charge for. So maybe for this case, I want to say 600 bucks an hour. Okay, I can add any matter notes. I can add any custom fields, just like I did for the contact. I can assign this matter to multiple people within my firm, so people stay in the loop with this matter. And I can also set up an evergreen retainer. Now, this is good for trust accounting. If you're an attorney who has any money in the who deals with trust accounting, the software actually has something called an evergreen retainer. Essentially, what that means is, let's just say your client gives you $10,000 to put in the trust account for your case, and you're working on his case, you're working on his case, you're working on his case, and all of a sudden the trust account balance gets as low as 500 bucks. You can actually program this software to remind you at $500 minimum to actually remind you to remind your client to ask for more money so you can continue to work on his case. A lot of attorneys, they run through an issue of they forget to see how much money is left in the trust account. So they're working on his case and they run into a problem where there was no more money in the trust, but they're still working on his case. We prevented that by having an evergreen alert, which will constantly remind you if you need to ask your client for more money. Okay?
Very helpful. I'm sure that
very,
that
very
comes in
helpful.
handy.
Yes, it does, definitely. You can also assign tags just like we did for contacts, any open and close dates, any statuses of the matter, and then we just press save. So we've just created our first contact and our first matter, and it was just that easy. So the next thing that I want to show you guys how to do, and a lot of attorneys have to do this, is track time, okay? So our software has a lot of different opportunities to track time, a lot of different ways we can do it. So we have a timer here at the top of the page. You can start the timer at any time. Let's just say, for example, you take a phone call, and you're on the phone, and you're just tracking time for that phone call, you're tracking time for that phone call, and you get off the phone and you want to log it. What you do is you stop the timer. You can link it to your contact. We could say that our contact right now is Adriel Cohen. We could link it to our contact and just record that time, okay? Or what you can do is straight from his page, you can actually log time. Now, a normal question I would ask you guys as attorneys is, do you track time as you go, or do you track time at the end of the day? And what a lot of attorneys have been telling me is they track time as they go. But I will show you guys both just in case you guys need to. So if you track time as you go, you're going to click on this big green new time entry sheet right over here, and you're going to be logging your time just like this. So the contact and matter will automatically populate on its own. These are going to be all your standard ABA codes right over here. You can add any new codes right here as well. But let's just say for this time entry, we want to log time for going to court. Now, Andres, how long would you say you were in court for this particular day? As an example.
4 hours.
4 hours. So I can just put the number 4 right over here. I could just say I went to court. Oops. Went to court. And you'll see that it automatically knows how much this time entry is going to cost. So I press save, and automatically I've created my first billable entry for $2,400. So another thing that you can do with our software is, let's just say you track time at the end of the day, and you have like 3 time entries that you want to log for a client. A lot of softwares, they'll make you have to create individual entries. What we've done was we've created a multiple time entry sheet. So you can click on this, and you can just actually create multiple time entries by adding new entries just like this. So add a new entry, and on one page, you can actually track time for multiple entries. So we could say for 1 hour, right over here, we were drafting and revising legal documents, okay? For 2 hours, right over here, we were communicating within the firm. And by the way, as you go, you can write any notes down right over here, which will show up on the invoice, okay? And we'll just say for over here, we went to communicate outside, and I just want to log all those times, okay? So I'm going to press save, and you'll see that I've actually logged all of those time entries.
And I see that it grabbed the rate for that matter, the $600.
Yes.
Can
Yes.
you adjust that? In the actual time entry?
Of course. So if you want to adjust a rate within the matter, it'll automatically adjust. So if I were to go and edit this right here, and I wanted to go into this right over here and put like $200, it'll automatically update on its own.
Nice.
Okay. And then you can just press save, and then you're done. And that's all you had to do. Okay. And by the way, you don't even have just the opportunity to do it on this page. You can even do it on the preview of the invoice, which I'm going to show you in just a second. So when I get to that point, I'll show you exactly how that works. It's really easy to use. Okay. So for the trust accounting people, how do you add money to the trust account within our software? So what do? By the way, first of all, before we get there, I want to show you something. Adriel Cohen's page is all on one page, right? So anything you're going to be doing with this particular client and matter, you're going to be dealing with on one page. If you go onto the left-hand side, you're going to be seeing all of your clients. Now, if you're ever going to be dealing with just Adriel Cohen, just stick onto this one page. It'll make your time go so much faster, okay? So let's add money to the trust account. So I'm going to click on Payments tab, add a new payment, add a retainer, add a payment, and I'm going to be adding money into the trust. For this demo, I'm just going to be actually putting in about $5,000 into the trust account so I can show you what that looks like. I'm going to select the trust account balance. For this demo, I'm just going to leave it as cash, even though we have a bunch of other options. Any payment notes I would like to add, I can also add there, and I'm going to press Make Deposit. Super easy. And you'll see the software automatically recognizes that we have trust account balance right over here. We put money in the trust, and our balance is $5,000. And it'll even break down where the money went. So it's paid to trust when you hover over it with a mouse. Okay. So the next thing that I want to show you guys is how to invoice this contact. Okay. So it looks like we've collected 3,200, or we want to bill $3,200 to our contact for the time that we've actually been on his case. But he's given us $5,000. So let's do this. Let's take the $3,200 out of the $5,000 retainer that we've already originally set up. Okay. So what do? I go to Invoices. I click on Add a New Invoice. I click on Generate, and we're going to generate the preview of the invoice, okay? So this is a really cool page. A lot of softwares don't have this page. What we can do over here is we can make any arrangements to the invoice before we submit it. So let's just say I want to make a description for the draft revised document to go on the invoice to say we were revising engagement letter. Okay. And no, doesn't matter. And I can write anything I want. I can write hey right here. I can write hey right here, so that on the invoice I know automatically that I have descriptions and my client knows exactly what I'm billing them for. Okay. I can make any edits I want straight from this preview page. I never have to go back, and that's something a lot of softwares don't have. So even if I want to add a new time entry from over here, instead of having to go back to do it, I can do it straight from over here by adding a new line. So I can add a new time entry. I can add a new expense. I can add a new flat fee. I can do everything straight from this preview page. So that when I submit it, I'm doing it all on one page. And as you can see, by the way, this is a very progressive thing. Our software is very progressive. It'll take you from one step to the next. We want to make sure that you're being very efficient with the amount of work that you're doing. And that's one of the reasons a lot of people want software is to either A, consolidate everything that they're doing right now, or B, just try to be more efficient and organized and to make sure that they're getting work done as fast as possible. And so everything that I'm trying to show you today will definitely get that done. So how do I take this balance due out of the 3,200 bucks? Or I'm sorry, how do I take the 3,200 bucks out of the retainer? I would click on use trusted account balance to pay this invoice. I select yes, and I press save.
It automatically does the transaction for you.
Yes. So you'll see right over here, we're going to have the default template that comes with Practice Panther. So it's just going to be very simple. You can actually add your company logo and any colors right over here. So this is going to be pretty much the layout of the invoices. They're very, very simple, very clean. You're going to see the total that was over here, the balance that's remaining. As you can see, there is nothing left remaining because it was taken out of the retainer. And here's the account summary of the retainer balance right over here. What you can do with this is you can send this copy to the client portal so they can have a copy of it for themselves, or you can print it out or download it as a PDF straight from the software.
Looks good.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Very good, very good. So the next portion of this demo is I'm going to show you how to make task and event reminders and actually just create task and events, okay? So I'm going to click on the Activities tab, and I'm going to click on Add a New Event. So something like I mentioned earlier, how to add a text message reminder, okay? So really simple. I'm going to link this to my contact, Adriel Cohen. I want to call this reminder court. Now, how do I remind myself on this specific day? We'll actually change the date to tomorrow because it makes more sense. Well, how do I remind myself by text message as well as my contact that they have court in an hour before that actually happens? How do I remind them? So I click on this add a reminder feature right over here. I can add up to 5 reminders per event or task, and I can select text message straight from over here, and I can say 1 hour. So it reminds me 1 hour before court actually happens, okay? And I can set up different time reminders for every single thing. So I can pretty much allow myself to get reminders 5 times per event and task. And by the way, if you're an attorney, you already know you're probably gonna have a lot of reminders because you wanna be reminded as much as possible. It's really bad to forget something. So we've created 5 reminders per task and event, which by the way is plenty. And a lot of the attorneys nowadays, they only get reminded about 2 or 3 times. So 5 is a lot. And you can select different time increments of when you'd like to be reminded, so it's very, very useful. How do I assign this reminder to multiple people within my firm so they also get the text? Really simple. I do it that way. If I want to remind my client also so he gets a text message, I just select his name right over here, and he will be reminded by text message an hour before court happens, so he stays in the loop with everything as well. I just press save. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Looks really easy.
It's very simple. Like I said, we try to run on the easiest software on the market, and I'd be more than happy to make this software easier if we could, but I would definitely need attorney feedback, which is how we relied on making the software in the first place anyway. So what I would like to do now is I would like to talk about a little bit of the other functionalities that we have. We have intake forms. So intake forms was something we just released about 2 months ago, and it's been very, very successful. A lot of attorneys, what they're doing is they're posting these intake forms on their website or even on an iPad, so that when they're getting a new client to go on their website, they can put in some name, information. And by the way, these intake forms are completely customizable. You start them from scratch, and a lot of attorneys were very happy to hear that because a lot of these templates that some of these forms actually have in the beginning, if you ever use a different company with intake forms, they're not really targeted towards your firm. And what a lot of firms actually recommended was to have these custom options so they can really tailor it to them. So you'll actually be able to tailor this intake to yourself, post it on your website, and your clients can fill up their name, information, whatever you put on there. It'll automatically create a contact and matter for you within Practice Panther. So your clients at this point are doing all of the legwork, which saves you a lot of time. A lot of softwares, by the way, and I would recommend taking advantage of this because a lot of softwares, by the way, charge a lot of money for intake forms, and this is actually part of our entire plan. So this would be really cool. Another functionality that we have is workflows. So as an attorney, you may have reoccurring tasks and events that happen on a regular basis. When you meet a new client, you may want to meet with the opposing counsel 4 days after. 5 days after that, you may want to sign a retainer agreement, whatever the process might be, but your process might be the same for every single time you meet a new client. So what we've done was we created something called a workflow, which will automate tasks and events for you, so you'll never have to create those individually again. Okay? So what you can do is you can actually watch a video right over here, and I can show you exactly what the workflow actually looks like.
So this is going through how to create a new workflow.
Yes. Yes.
You're adding events. Okay. I'm just trying to give a little play-by-play since there's no audio.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, yeah. So right now it's adding a new task, a new event. You'll see that it's automatically assigning due dates, whether it's business days or regular days, and you can actually choose whether you want it after or before you meet the new client. So you're really tailoring this entire workflow to your firm and how you want to use it. Everything is customizable on our software. So these automated task and events are also very customizable, and I have a lot of bigger firms, especially bigger firms, using this workflow functionality to their benefit because they have a lot of task and events that they're dealing with on a regular basis. Instead of having them manually do it every single time, they're just applying it for every future contact. So instead of taking hours and hours of a month away from them, we're benefiting them by having them just apply it and saving that time for future use. So it's really cool.
And then this is they're applying one of the workflows to a matter.
Exactly. They're applying a workflow to a matter right now, and you'll see in just a second. Well, first he has to apply it to the other users in the firm, so everybody stays in the loop with what this contact's doing. So he's assigning these two tasks to any user in the firm. If he wants, he can email the user. And you're going to see when he presses save, he's going to have a to-do list. So he'll have 3 new tasks and events just by applying it to a client. And it'll automatically start on the date that he started it, which would have been on the top of the page on that preview button. So it's really, really useful because it'll automate tasks and events for you. It'll save you a bunch of time. Very, very useful function that we have here at Practice Panther.
Looks good.
Any questions on it, Andres?
No, not right now.
Cool. Alrighty. So another thing that we have here at Practice Panther, another functionality that we have is document template automation. So what that pretty much means is we can actually automate documents. So let's just say you have an engagement letter and you want certain fields in an engagement letter pre-filled with contact information and matter information. What you can do is you can actually assemble a document once you've actually created a document and apply certain fields to that document so the actual software recognizes those fields. It'll automatically populate information from the contact and matter list onto a document that you have. So instead of having you write down the information for every new contact or for every contact you have in the future, it'll automatically populate on its own. So you'll never have to do it again. It'll save you a lot of time. So we have document automation. It's really easy to set up. We have help videos on everything on the software that will actually make you set it up a lot easier.
So the templates, can they be, are they PDF, Word documents? What kind of files are they?
Okay, so the templates are actually going to be docx files. We do not automate PDF files just yet. that is something we're looking into. And as you can see with our updates page, it's nothing to worry about. We're going to probably be releasing it very soon. We release way too many things at a very fast rate. So.
And docx
Okay.
is Word documents.
It's a Word document, exactly.
Yeah.
Microsoft Word.
Okay.
Okay. So the next thing that I want to talk about is how to store documents within Practice Panther. So we actually integrate with both Box and Dropbox. We prefer Box on our side because it is more secure, and we know that attorneys really like security. But we recommend both. They're both very great document storage programs. It's as easy as just dragging and dropping. I can also do that just that easily. So now I'm keeping track of all of these files, and I'm also going paperless. And by the way, you can view these in court. You can view these anywhere on the go because you are on the cloud, so you'll be able to have access to these documents. And they're also super secure, so nothing to worry about losing them.
So if someone's on their on their mobile device, on their tablet, do they log on to box.com or do they log on to Practice Panther to look at these? I mean, I know
Great question.
They can do both, right? But
yes, they can do both. It is a two-way sync. They can actually go straight onto Practice Panther and view these documents because it is a two-way sync. And by the way, any updates you make onto your box.com account will also go into Practice Panther because it is a two-way sync. So any changes you make, anything that you do differently in Box will occur also in Practice Panther and vice versa as well. And something that we can do in our software that no other softwares have with Box is you can view, edit, and chat about documents straight from within the software without having to like get out of the software. So if I want to like view this picture, for example, I can go straight from within here and view this picture. I can actually talk about this picture saying, you know, what do you think? And everyone associated with this contact will actually get a notification because they are part of this actual contact. So it's really, really useful when documents are being, you know, generated and they're also being stored because everybody gets to stay in the loop with what's happening. So everybody gets to have their own feedback on documents.
great. And then this works the same in the matters as well, right?
I'm sorry, answer. What was that question again? It works in the same
because
as a matter?
right now we're under a contact, but can you do the same thing within a matter?
Of course, yes. You can go anywhere on the software. Everybody's going to have their own files tab. So we're in the matter right now. So if I want to go straight into the matter, I go into here and I can click the files tab, and I'll enter the cloud, and I'll be right over here. So now I'm in the Adriel versus the world matter.
Got it.
And I can just drag something in his matter. So we'll just put this Orlando Magic picture right over here, since it's pretty vital to what I do every day and watch and read about. So
yes.
So there are a lot of cool things you can do in our software, and it's very instantaneous. Things happen very fast. But one of the biggest keys with our software, like I said in the beginning of the demo, is that we feel like we're the easiest software on the market. We're not going to complicate things. Your lives are already, you know, very, very complicated. You have a lot of cases, and one of the reasons most of you guys are probably looking for a software is to really, you know, create more of an efficient lifestyle where you can balance your life, make some more money, but also have to deal with less admin work. And what we provide for you is a solution to all of that. So very cool.
That's great.
So what I want to show you guys next is the support. So we have an excellent support team. If anybody has heard of Practice Panther, we're highly, highly reviewed. And the reason for it is because of our support, our service. And we actually are rated, I believe, the highest support time for being reached on support of all the softwares on the market. I think the average time for being reached is about 20 hours. We actually get it's like a record almost of 5 hours, which is absolutely insane. So we'll be able to respond to any tickets that anybody puts in. any requests that anybody puts in, and we're really really fast when it comes to answering any client questions. We also have a live chat button. So let's just say I want to chat anybody on support. I can just say hey straight from over here, and I can actually chat them up right over here. So it's really really cool. I can actually click over here as well onto the question mark, and I can see anything that I want to read about. So let's just say I have a question maybe about time entries. I can click on time entries right over here, and I can actually read or view any videos that might be over here as well for time entries. And I can do that everywhere in the software. So there's so much help. And by the way, with account managers here, we are always, always available to help. If we are not able to answer the phone right away, it's because we're on a demo. But we do guarantee that you will get a hold of us because we want to help you, and that's all we focus on.
That's great. And I know from working with you guys before, you guys are flexible, and you guys are there for the clients, and because you're coming out with new features all the time, you guys are listening.
Absolutely, we're always listening. We have a feature request button actually on the top of our page. Let me show you that really quick. So we have a feature request button. Where'd it go? One second. Let me click this one more time.
Disappeared.
So going back to, I don't know where it went. It's supposed to be here. Anyway, I'll look into that in a second. But going back to what you said, we do receive feature requests all the time, and we love feature requests. And one of the reasons is because this entire software is built off feature requests. Every single thing that you see is because someone felt it would benefit a lot of attorneys, and so did we. So we actually are all technology experts. We're not attorneys. So the way this is built isn't because we thought it'd be a good idea, because we're not working as an attorney. We felt like it was better to listen to the people, listen to the other attorneys out there, and that's what we've done, and it's become very successful for us.
Nice, I like that. What does the onboarding process look like?
We have our import wizard. It's really simple. We actually do not charge for any migration. So what we'll do is we'll pretty much just schedule an appointment once you guys have signed up, any attorney has signed up, and we'll pretty much discuss exactly because every software is different, obviously. So some fields in another software may have different verbiage than our software actually has. So we just have to be able to figure out what the verbiage is and how to make sense of it, and then we'll pretty much do the migration with the client, and it doesn't take very long at all. It takes probably about a week max. And sometimes we even try to surprise our clients. We say a week, but we give it to them in a day, so it's like an early birthday.
and then do they get training?
They do. Support is free. Training is free. We do recommend schedule as many demos as you want, because this is your work. This is your work. That's what we say all the time. Training is always free. We want to make sure that your life is easier, especially when you sign up with us. And if it's not, please tell us how we can make it easier. So training is free, demoing is free, support is free. The only thing that you'll pay for is one subscription fee, and that's pretty much it. Everything else comes included.
Great. One thing we didn't touch on: integrations with other tools.
Got it. So with integrations, we integrate with a bunch of different stuff. We integrate with QuickBooks Online for accounting. We did go with the accounting online version because Intuit did release a statement saying they want to go online only. So we are integrated with them. With emailing, we're integrated with a bunch of different emails. Let me actually maximize my screen again. So with emails, we're integrated with Exchange, Gmail, Office 365, Outlook, AOL, Yahoo. Actually, we're integrated with more emails than just that as well. So whatever email. Yeah, so AOL, I mean, unfortunately, some people still use AOL. If you're a user that still uses AOL, give me a call. I'll give you advice on maybe a better platform.
Yeah.
But AOL is still around, so we do integrate with them. For calendaring, we have a lot of different calendars that we integrate with also, for like the Gmail calendar and Outlook and Office 365. So a lot of different calendaring systems we integrate with. iCal. So it's really, really cool. And by the way, with calendaring, it is a two-way sync. So anything that happens within your Google Calendar, for example, will also happen in your Practice Panther calendar, as long as you do forward that calendar into the appropriate folder. So it is a two-way sync. You'll always be able to keep track of everything on your calendar. So it's really, really cool. With emailing, currently it is a one-way sync from email to Practice Panther. So you'll be able to keep track of all your clients' emails on their activity list using Label Sync. And we did just release something called Mail Sync, which is a very new feature. And like I said, we release new features, and sometimes they're released so fast that even as account managers don't have the full capability of understanding it yet. But what we do know so far as account managers is that you are able to actually send outgoing emails as well as incoming emails, and now your clients can actually send over attachments from their email systems. So it's really, really cool. And that's
Nice.
called Mail Sync. Yep.
Mail sync.
So it's really, yep. So we also are integrated with Zapier. So any third-party applications that you guys want to use, they have hundreds of applications you can integrate with, and anything that integrates with Zapier will integrate with Practice Panther. Just think of them as like a middleman, so they connect two tools together.
Yep.
So it's really cool.
We do a lot with Zapier.
Oh, good.
I saw the online payments, the credit cards. Is that
Yes.
something you guys provide, or is that a third party
So
processor?
we don't provide a processor. That is a third party. We do integrate, and one of the more popular ones for attorneys is LawPay.
Yes.
So you can actually connect with LawPay using our software, just as easy as clicking a button. But you can also integrate with PayPal, Stripe, and Authorize.net. So those are all different integrations that you can actually put in for credit card processing. A lot of attorneys, like I said, they recommend LawPay. They are ABA approved, and there's things that they do with trust accounting that is different than the other processors. So.
Okay. Great. Is there anything else?
As far as the demo goes, probably, yeah. There's always something new that's coming up. We probably released a new feature as we were on the phone. Honestly, it's always so fast. But I'd like to actually say that we do grandfather your prices in for life once you do sign up with Practice Panther. We do raise our prices eventually. We have increased our prices in the past, only about $10 a month. But the only thing is like our users that originally signed up with us and believed in us from the beginning, they never saw a price increase, and we continue to move forward with that. We don't increase the prices if you are a user. So that's a really, really cool thing. And by the way, any updates that we do the software are going to be completely free. And like I mentioned in the past, also everything that I've showed you today comes with the software, every single thing. So we're not going to have different plans. We're not going to have anything different. You'll be able to utilize the entire software and really benefit your firm from it just by paying one simple price. And those two prices, by the way, for our software are going to be $49 monthly on a month-to-month plan, or you can get on the annual plan and pay $39 annually per user. Okay, so the annual plan does save you $120 a month per user. The only difference is on the month-to-month, you can cancel at any time. On the annual plan, after the first 30 days, you are in the annual plan. And by the way, like I forgot to mention, both plans have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So essentially, there's really no risk at all to signing up.
Excellent. That's good. Thanks. This is really nice. I really like what Practice Panther's doing. It's making it easy. I like how simple it is.
Yeah, it's really simple. It's extremely intuitive, and the more people that we have in our family, the better we are. And we'd always like more recommendations on what we'd like to add, whether you're a user, whether you're not. We're just always in the hunt to make our software the best on the market. We feel like we might already be. We definitely feel like we're the easiest to use. But I'll tell you, with the attorneys that we have on board already, we're definitely going to be the best software on the market, if not already.